Sophia, a young woman with delicate features, large brown eyes that always carried a hint of melancholy, and long chestnut hair tied back in a simple ponytail, felt a gnawing hunger after a long morning at work in a small grocery store in the suburbs of Portland. She was slender, with soft movements that betrayed her quiet and reserved nature. A girl who grew up without parental care, learned early to rely on herself, but dreamed of a warm family. The store, where she had worked as a cashier for several years, was a typical American market, shelves stocked with goods from canned foods to fresh vegetables, with the constant hum of refrigerators and the chime of the register. The smell of fresh bread mingled with the aroma of fruits, creating a cozy yet monotonous atmosphere. Finally, her lunch break arrived, and Sophia eagerly spread out her modest salad on a table in the cramped break room lit by a dim lamp. The dish looked appetizing, bright pieces of tomatoes, cucumbers, lettuce, and a light dressing of olive oil and lemon. But as soon as Sophia took her first bite, her face twisted at the unexpected bitter taste. Ugh, it's so bitter again. This isn't the first time. It's like the whole world is against me, she thought, feeling her hunger intensify with disappointment. Her friend, Caitlin, an energetic blonde with short hair, sharp green eyes, and a confident demeanor, who was always bolder and more outgoing, was eating lunch nearby and raised an eyebrow in surprise. "What's wrong with you? Everything tastes bitter? It's just a normal salad. Totally fine to eat, fresh from the fridge," Caitlin said, trying her own salad and smiling demonstratively. But Sophia insisted something was wrong with the food and eventually pushed her plate away, feeling irritated and troubled by this strange phenomenon that had persisted for days. She couldn't understand why everything tasted bitter to her. Was it a health issue or a sign of fate, as Madame Clara, whom she had known since childhood, might say? Sophia often thought about her life. She dreamed of marriage, a warm, happy family with a loving husband who would hold her in the evenings, and children whose laughter and footsteps would fill the emptiness in her heart. Sophia's parents had died long ago in a car accident when she was a teenager, and she had no other relatives. Her aunts and uncles lived in other states and didn't keep in touch, so loneliness was her constant companion, like a shadow following her everywhere. Life seemed gray and repetitive. Every day the same routine, waking up at dawn in her cold apartment in Gresham, taking the metro through Portland's noisy streets where cars honked and people hurried past without noticing each other, serving customers with a smile that wasn't always genuine, and returning in the evening to a quiet home where only the TV broke the silence. She longed for vibrant events, adventures, something to paint her days with the colors of joy and love, like in the romantic movies she loved watching on lonely evenings. To change her fate for the better, Sophia decided to visit Madame Clara, a middle-aged woman who lived in a small house on the outskirts of Naperville, surrounded by forests and lakes. Madame Clara was a well-known local seer, with neatly pinned hair streaked with gray, dressed in a white linen blouse that emphasized her refined yet mysterious appearance. Her warm gray eyes and soft voice radiated wisdom. The journey to Naperville was long. The bus passed through Oregon's green fields, where the wind whispered in the leaves and the sun played on the window glass. "I've wanted a family, children for so long. I'm ready for it, but no one's asking me to marry. And nothing ever happens in my life. It's all so bland, just work and home, nothing more. Please tell me how to change this." Sophia sighed, sitting at a wooden table in Madame Clara's house, where the air smelled of fresh bread and herbs, and the walls were adorned with landscape paintings. Madame Clara listened attentively, sipping tea from a porcelain cup. She was known in the area as a counselor who helped people with predictions in folk remedies, combining kindness with a keen intuition. "Why don't you mention that all the food you eat lately tastes terribly bitter?" Madame Clara asked, looking at Sophia with a piercing gaze. Sophia was surprised as she hadn't mentioned it. "I just thought something was wrong with my taste buds. I even went to doctors. Visited a clinic in Portland with long lines, but the doctors just shrugged, and all my tests were normal. They found nothing." Then Madame Clara asked Kate, her younger assistant, a girl with red hair, freckles, and a cheerful personality, who helped around the house, to fetch some enchanted water from a spring behind the house. "There's an old saying, if all the food tastes bitter, it's a sign that deceit awaits you. Fate is warning you to be cautious, or life won't be sweet for you. Never heard of it? Here's the water as you asked," Kate said, handing over a glass bottle of clear liquid that seemed to sparkle slightly in the sunlight streaming through the window. "Thank you, Kate. Drink this water for 3 days, a sip at dawn when the sun rises and the birds start singing, and the food will stop tasting bitter," Madame Clara advised, placing her hand on Sophia's shoulder. Sophia understood the instructions. "A sip at dawn for 3 days?" Madame Clara nodded, her voice softening. "Will this help me change my life for the better? I see true love waiting for you right around the corner, but heed fate's warning. Be cautious and observant of people to avoid being deceived, for the world is full of trickery." For 3 days Sophia drank the water at dawn, standing by her apartment window in Gresham, watching Portland wake up, cars starting to move, neighbors walking their dogs, and the sky turning pink. And indeed, the food stopped tasting bitter. Salads became delicious, fruit sweet, filling her with hope. On the 4th day, a regular customer, John, a tall man with dark hair, blue eyes that radiated sincerity, and the calm demeanor, who worked as an engineer at a factory in Portland's suburbs, and was always polite with a gentle smile, came to the store. "I've been shopping here for a while, but never caught your name," he smiled, placing bread and milk on the counter. "Sophia. And you're John. Say, would you like to take a walk in Tom LeCall Waterfront Park after work? It's so nice there now, with blooming trees and street musicians playing." "Sure. Not now, but I'll wait for you. What time do you finish today?" "5. Then I'll meet you at 5 by the store under that big oak tree." Sophia agreed, feeling a warm flutter. Caitlin whispered from behind, "By the way, that customer's been eyeing you for a while. Always picks your register. Finally worked up the courage to ask you out. Congrats, this is your chance." That same day, another man, Logan, a charismatic brunette with a sharp gaze of brown eyes, a lean build, and confident manners, who passed himself as a successful businessman, but had a shady past with debts, came to the store, say, "I've never been here before. Recommend the best, most expensive champagne to your taste, something sparkling and luxurious." Sophia wanted to call a colleague, but he insisted, "No, I want your opinion. You see, I want to celebrate finally meeting my destiny. That's you with your captivating eyes." "But we don't even know each other," she said, surprised, feeling a mix of flattery and wariness. "I'm Logan, Sophia. That'll be $100. Card, please. Need a receipt?" "No, thanks." "So, what are you doing tonight?" "I know a great restaurant with a view of the Willamette River." "Sorry, I have to work and I already have plans for a walk tonight," she declined, trying to be polite. "Oh, Sophia, you're breaking my heart, but I hope not all your evenings are booked and I still have a chance. Forgot your candies. These are for you, sweet like you." Sophia was flattered that both men had suddenly noticed her, but she chose to go on a date with John, whom she had noticed before, as his sincerity seemed genuine. During their walk in Tom McCall Waterfront Park, where streetlights glimmered and tourists photographed the river, they shared their hobbies. "What do you do in your free time?" "I go to the theater. Love watching movies, especially psychological dramas and mysteries that unravel the secrets of the soul." "I love dramas and mysteries too, and I enjoy feeding pigeons. Let's feed them now. There's a spot near the fountain. I'll treat you to vanilla ice cream and grab some seats." And they spend a wonderful evening laughing and talking about life, watching the sun set over the river. The next morning, Sophia woke up in her cozy but lonely apartment in Gresham, with a view of the city park, warmly recalling her walk with John, his quiet laughter, the touch of his hand as he handed her ice cream, and their heartfelt movie discussions.
She put on her favorite blue blouse, which highlighted her brown eyes, and went to work, feeling a slight thrill. When Logan visited the store again, carrying a bouquet of vibrant roses that smelled sweet and fresh, he said, "Sophia, hi. I was thinking about you all evening, imagining us strolling along the waterfront. By the way, these are for you, to brighten your day." "Thank you. That's so unexpected. These flowers are beautiful," she replied, placing the bouquet in a vase on the counter. "What time do you finish today? 4? Great. Let's meet at 4 by the entrance. No refusals. I've already reserved a table," he insisted with a charming smile. "All right," Sophia agreed, impressed by his persistence and the bouquet that caught her colleague's attention. "Wow, what luck. Such a romantic," she thought, though her heart still lingered on John. Logan invited her to a restaurant in downtown Portland with an elegant interior, white tablecloths, flickering candles, and soft jazz music, where waiters moved silently. After dinner, they strolled along the Willamette River waterfront, where skyscraper lights reflected in the water, and the air was filled with the scent of salt and wet wood. Logan intrigued Sophia. He was attractive, sharp-witted, with a witty sense of humor, and talking to him felt easy, as if they'd known each other forever. "How was the restaurant?" "I loved it. Everything was delicious. The sushi was tender with perfect rice. Still, they don't make sushi here like in Japan, but I enjoyed it." "You haven't tried real sushi. I went to Tokyo, wandered its streets, ate at small restaurants, and now local ones seem bland." "You've been to Japan? Tell me more," Sophia said, intrigued. "Yeah, I love traveling, especially in my own car. My sports sedan flies down highways. I've been to Europe. Italy is a dream. Colosseum. Venice with its canals where gondoliers sing. Have you been to Italy?" "No, never. Just dreamed about it, looking at photos." "We need to fix that. We'll go together at the first chance. I'll arrange everything." "I don't like to brag, but money's no issue. My business is thriving." "So you're quite the catch." "Well, you could say that. But for me, money isn't everything. What matters is a good, sincere, kind person like you, Logan." "Women like you are a rare treasure these days. Sweet, modest Sophia with your natural beauty. I feel so lucky to have met you on this street. Has anyone told you you're a real beauty with eyes you could drown in?" Logan's attention flattered her immensely, and his stories of far-off travels and adventures, safaris in Africa, skiing in the Alps, made Sophia realize this was the exciting, luxurious life she dreamed of, unlike her mundane routine. A few days passed, and Logan began showering Sophia with messages full of compliments and gifts, chocolates, perfumes delivered by courier. "Logan sent these? Wow, I'm amazed by this guy. So rich and charismatic. We still need to learn more about each other. He seems perfect. But what about John? Where did he go after your date?" Caitlin asked, scrolling through Sophia's phone messages. "I don't know. He's not very active. We haven't met since that one time." "Maybe he's busy with work. If a guy likes a woman, he'll always make time, not wait weeks." "Speak of the devil. Hi, Sophia. Sorry I haven't been around. Work's been crazy at the factory. Projects piling up. Want to catch that mystery movie we talked about tonight?" "Hi, John. I'm not sure if I can. I had plans with Logan. I'll text you later." "All right. I'll wait eagerly. Bye." Good call turning him down. You should pick Logan, not John. He's got more prospects, money, travels. "I turned him down because it hurt a bit. He didn't show up or text for so long, like he's not interested. You know, I still like John, his sincerity, his calm. Well, if you didn't have anyone, you could consider him. He's nice. But now you've got Logan. Plus, you need to make it in this city, and you've got no savings or support." Sophia knew her friend was partly right. Caitlin was always practical, with her history of failed relationships. But her heart pulled her towards John's simplicity. To sort out her feelings, she took a bus through sun-scorched fields to Madame Clara's house, where the house offered cool relief. "Madame Clara, John and Logan are so different. I don't know who to choose. Logan is vibrant, fun, always surprising me, while John is kind and sincere, but not very proactive, like he's afraid to impose." "Do you have photos of these guys?" "No, just in my memory." "Then pick 2 stones from my box and give them to me." She looked closely. "One of them truly loves you. His heart is pure. The other isn't who he seems, with hidden intentions. No wonder fate warned you of deceit through that bitterness. But I drank your enchanted water and it helped. Food tastes normal now. The water stopped the food from tasting bitter, but it won't shield you from life's bitter disappointments. You must stay vigilant, trust your intuition. Madam Clara, I doubt either of these men would deceive me. They both seem good. I've warned you. I see a fog of deceit around you. There's also a dishonest woman involved, maybe someone close, so be cautious. Don't trust blindly. All right, thank you. I'll think it over. Sophia reflected at home, sitting by her window, gazing at the stars over Portland and wondering who might deceive her, and decided to closely observe both men's actions. One day, Logan brought her a hot lunch in containers, fragrant pilaf and salad, and a soft wool shawl. Thanks, Logan. It smells delicious. I noticed it gets cold in your store with the AC, so this is to keep you warm. No one's cared for me so touchingly in a long time. I'll pick you up after work. You're done at 4 again, right? Suddenly, John walked in with tickets. Hi, Sophia. I got us tickets to a premiere drama about love and betrayal. Sophia, who's this? This is John, my friend from before. Sorry, buddy, but Sophia's got plans with me tonight. You're probably late. And John left, shoulders slumped. Sophia felt guilty, wondering if she'd done the right thing. But after the store incident, John didn't reach out, while Logan enveloped her with even more attention, calling daily, sending travel photos. One day, during her day off, strolling through a park where kids played on swings and couples sat on benches, Sophia saw Caitlin with John. They were laughing, feeding pigeons, and she was shocked, feeling a sharp pang of jealousy, as if something precious was lost.
Upset, Sophia couldn't calm down after what she saw in the park, her thoughts swirling around John and Caitlin. The next morning, dressed in a simple dress, she decided to confront her friend at work. "Hi, how's it going?" "Not great. I'm in a bad mood. I saw you in the park with John yesterday. Anything you want to tell me?" "What's surprising? You turned John down and he and I are free people. Why not hang out?" "But you said John wasn't good enough, and then you jumped at the chance when I said no." "Sophia, I'm sorry, but you were acting like a dog in the manger with John, neither taking him nor letting others. You've got a great guy in Logan, so why can't I hang out with John?" "You're probably right, but it hurts." "All right, let's get back to work." "Sorry, I'm not feeling well. I think I'll head home. My head's spinning." "What?" "I'll call the manager and take the day off." "Yeah, sorry." Upset, Sophia realized she couldn't stay at work and decided to walk home through Gresham's quiet streets where the wind played with leaves. "Good afternoon. Excuse me, is apartment 65 in this building?" "Yes, it's mine." "Are you Sophia Thompson?" "Yes." "Good afternoon. I'm Violet Rain, a notary assistant. I had to come to your registered address. I tried calling but couldn't reach you." "I don't answer unknown numbers. What happened? Why were you looking for me?" "Understood. Here's the notary's card. You need to come to his office on Friday at 2 p.m. regarding an inheritance." "Sorry, there must be a mistake. I'm an orphan. My parents died long ago." "No, look, the documents list your details." "Yes, those are mine, but who could have left me an inheritance?" "Your uncle, your late father's brother." "First I'm hearing of it. I don't think I had an uncle." "You must be mistaken." "Here, take a look. I'm leaving you a copy of the documents. You have the card with the office address, so we'll expect you Friday at 2 p.m. "Thank you. Goodbye." The inheritance news shook Sophia. She sat at home reviewing the documents, feeling a mix of joy and confusion. That same day, she met Logan at a cafe smelling of coffee and pastries and told him about the unexpected inheritance. "I called Uncle Joe, my dad's childhood friend, and learned my dad had a brother. They fought when young and stopped talking. No one ever mentioned an uncle, so I didn't know." "Why do you leave it to you?" "From what I gathered, he had no other relatives. He left me an apartment and a bank deposit." "Now the key is to manage the inheritance wisely. Best to invest in cryptocurrency. My friend made a fortune that way." "I don't know. I don't understand it, and it's risky to invest where you're clueless." "Don't worry. I'll guide you. We'll invest together." Sophia had various ideas for the inheritance, buy a new apartment, travel, but didn't know the best course. So she visited Madame Clara.
where flowers bloomed in the garden and the air was fresh. Madame Clara, I don't know how to handle the money. It's a big sum, and I'd hate to waste it. I need your advice. Think about the inheritance. Pick a flower from here and place it on the table. I see you risk losing everything. Kate, bring me the grain I enchanted at the new moon. Lose it? What should I do? I'm supposed to go to the notary on Friday at 2 to claim it. Here, Madame Clara, the grain you asked for. Thank you. Go to the notary an hour early, take this grain, and toss it at the feet of whoever you want to hear the truth from. Thank you, Madame Clara. Why don't you ask what's troubling my heart most? I'm so confused in life and feelings. I chose Logan, who pampers me with gifts, but seeing John with Caitlin made me jealous. I didn't even reject him, and he's already with someone else. I didn't think he was so insincere, and I'm holding a grudge against my friend. She discouraged me from John, and now she's with him herself, so she deceived me too. You mentioned a dishonest woman. Was it Caitlin? Hold out your hands, palms up. Don't jump to conclusions until you know the full truth. Do as I say, and everything in your life will fall into place. Thank you, Madame Clara. Goodbye. Sophia followed Madame Clara's advice and arrived at the notary's office, a modern building with large windows. Outside, she unexpectedly saw Logan with Violet, the notary assistant, a slim brunette with a cold gaze, who turned out to be cunning and greedy. Listen, I'm tired of this plain Jane, and I've spent so much on her. Poor me. Stop whining. You know the money we'll get for our troubles. We've pulled off so many schemes together, and you stayed quiet, but now you're picky. Can't handle some girl? So that's what you think of me, Sophia. No, you misunderstood. This is Violet, an acquaintance. We just ran into each other and we're talking. I may be plain, but I'm not as dumb as you think. Sort it out yourselves. You won't prove anything anyway. All right, acquaintance, confess. What's your deal with Logan? Sorry, you've got it all wrong. Does the notary know about your deals? No? Then he needs to know immediately, right? What scheme are you two cooking up? As a notary assistant, I have access to all cases. I found out about your inheritance and tipped off Logan. Why would a businessman get into such scams? Businessman, he's got nothing, gambles it all away. I sent Logan to charm you, win your trust, and after you got the inheritance, he'd convince you to sell your uncle's apartment and withdraw all the money from the bank, since times are uncertain. Let me guess, he'd steal it all and vanish. Thanks for spilling everything. Sophia met the notary, a dignified man in a suit, told him the truth about Violet, and filed a statement with the police, where detectives recorded everything in detail. Then she went to work to talk openly with Caitlin. Hi, Caitlin. Be honest. Are you and John dating or what? No, it was just one meeting. I did take the chance. John's a good guy. You had Logan. Well, had. He turned out to be a jerk. I'll tell you later. Sophia, I'm sorry for everything, but I don't want to lose you. You're my best friend. I don't want to lose you either, and I'm sure you'll find your love. Thank you. A few days later, Sophia invited John to meet in the park where they first walked. Hi, John. Please forgive me. I want you to know there's nothing between me and Logan. It was a mistake. Weird. What was that about? Some illusion? He deliberately got close to exploit me, but it's clear now. Did he hurt you? Just say the word, I'll deal with him. No, John, it's all good now. Let's forget that story, and if you're okay with it, let's start over. I'm all in. I realized I was foolish, acting hesitant, afraid to impose, but now I won't let you go. Sophia is now with John and finally feels happy. They walk in parks, watch movies, plan their future. She received her inheritance, an apartment and money, and filed a police report against Violet and Logan's illegal actions. They'll face punishment and won't harm anyone else. Madame Clara reminded her, if all food tastes bitter, it's a sure sign deceit awaits. Fate warns you to be cautious, or life won't be sweet. So guard your heart and trust your intuition.